Okay, so I think everyone's starting to join already. Hi, guys. In case you guys are not aware about us, let me just start with an introduction. So, my name is Pratham. I'm the co founder, the CEO at Zell Education. We've been running this company, this institute, since 10 years, and we are currently one of the go to players for ACCA in the country. I myself am an ACCA. I think, in fact, I was one of the first when the entire Indian market was very small for ACCA candidates. I had actually completed at that point of time. And just to give you all a quick gist, so I'm an ACCA member. In our team, we have a bunch of ACCAs who are both either faculties or mentors. And we've been training tens of thousands of students across the country over the last 10 years. We made multiple content and videos on YouTube. So if any of y'all have any questions, right, not only will we have detailed videos on all of it, but we'll also be conducting such uh, live sessions and any other medium that students like you want us to conduct, we'll be there. So in today's video, I'm going to obviously answer any and everything that you all have with regards to ACCA. Please put it in the comments below, and I'll answer as many as I can. My team is telling me to give you all first a quick introduction on ACCA. So let me just take a couple of minutes for that, and then I'll start. Already some questions have started coming. All right. So the for any of y'all who are not sure, ACCA, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, this is an international accounting and finance qualification, professional qualification. In India, we know about Indian CA. Um, this is along the lines of that, even though it's not the exact same in any way. But just like in India, we have Indian CAs who have what we call signing authority, or who are experts in the field of accounting, financial management, auditing, taxation, costing. In a similar fashion, for across the globe, there are ACCAs in multiple countries who are relied upon as experts in finance or accounts. So you basically become a chartered accountant, but at an international level, if you do ACCA. When you're in India, you have, I know students who starting ACCA because it's 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 a flexible global qualification that that allows us to complete the qualification quickly. You can complete this in 3 years, and you get the same value that chartered accountants across the world get. So in India, you can work in companies, MNCs, or CA firms, or any other kind of a company, and you can be the CFO or the CEO when it comes to managing finances, managing accounting, as well as managing business. So that's the reason many people have started taking it up, because of its flexibility, because of its end outcome, because of its global nature. So that's the reason people are doing ACCA. And for the rest of the details, A, let me start answering you guys' questions, and B, um, if anything specific that I don't cover, please, we watch our videos. We made tons of them for all of you guys. All right. Let's start. So the first question I have is that can I start ACCA post 12th, or do I need to complete graduation? Simple answer is you can do it post 12th. In fact, ACCA you can even do it before 12th. Recently, we have one of our youngest students who started ACCA with us in grade 9 and has started clearing some of the exams already. We actually have a couple of students who are even just in grade 9. So you can really start early, as long as you as a student have diligence and have motivation, have discipline to actually study these exams. All right, next, what's the starting salary, and how much can I earn in 5 to 10 years? Well, if you are an ACCA member, which means you've completed all the paper. My first salary, I used to work in a company called PwC. My first salary was 7 lakhs per annum as a member. Of course, it can be different depending on where you are. But I by that time I'd completed my graduation, completed my ACCA, and had 3 years of work experience. That is equivalent to an articleship. And after that, I started earning 7 lakhs, and then it just grows. In 5 to 10 years, I've seen people make it to decent numbers. I know some people who've become really really advanced in the field of finance. They head certain companies, or they are under the CFO. So they in 10 years can uh, their earnings can go between 30 to 50 lakhs. And of course, if you are one of those top students, ACCA provides you ranks if you really do well. So if you're one of them, depending on your performance, depending on your company, it the salaries can go higher. In fact, I know people who, if you move overseas, then obviously if you come, then you translate the currency, then it feels much more. But speaking about India, yes, around 30 to 50 lakhs is a reasonable amount you can aim at if you are a good candidate. All right. Next question. I've heard that ACCA is very difficult compared to CFA and FRM. Uh, Please guide how many months for working professional will take to clear the exam. All right. Well, first of all, I don't think that it is compared to CFA and FRM, it is very difficult. CFA, ACCA, FRM, CA, all of these definitely are difficult. If any of y'all are assuming that it's a shortcut, or you feel it's easier, then I would highly recommend reconsider. This definitely will take a massive amount of effort. And if you are, you've not given any other exam besides your schools and colleges, then this will be the most difficult exam you'll give in your life, so far. Well, all of that being said, it's also at the same time really manageable because it's completely logic based, it's completely fundamental. And as long as you are consistent, if you do what we say, or you do anybody who's completed the exam, you follow their guidance. Like for example, you've got to ensure that you study. You cannot leave it till the last moment, like in school or college. You cannot just read and recall. You have to take the tedious effort of practicing the questions by typing out detailed answers, not just because, oh, I know what this is, so okay, I got it. Or when the MCQs practice part comes, you just read, or you just solve the numerical parts, where you don't solve the subjective, the analytical parts. All of these things cause failure, right? Make it more difficult. Many students don't give mock exams before the exams at all. Many people are overconfident that, oh, I've heard ACCA is no, oh, I've done CA, I can do ACCA. Well, in any case, it's and this applies to FRM also, to CFA also. So yeah, the first point is, guys, don't compare it so easily. All of them are difficult, yet all of them are manageable. And to help you with, as a working professional, see, I'll tell you 2 3 quick points, guys, especially if you're working. Number one, ensure that your company is recognizing that you have ACCA exams every quarter, and allows a leave of at least 1 week if possible before the exam. Do not just take a leave on the day of the exam, and then really, you know you will find it difficult in that case. So A, take leaves. B, uh, please do not leave it for the last minute, right? If weekends, push yourself to study. I know it's a little difficult if you're a working professional, but you don't have any other option if you've taken this up. And B, if you're a night person, then give yourself that study a little bit. If you're a morning person, then do that as well. It doesn't matter, but you'll have to study consistently. Also, you might be in a haste to come. You might decide to give multiple exams. Well, none of that will work. Start with one exam per quarter, get the hang of it, pass a couple of papers, and then when you know how much time it takes you, how much effort it takes you, what's your work situation, how they recognize ACCA, basis that you speeden it up, right? Then you can give multiple exams. All right, next. Can ACCA help me settle abroad, and which countries recognize it? Well, yes. Like I was mentioning earlier, it's a global qualification. Technically 180 countries in the world out of like some 200-ish recognize ACCA. But the ones which are popular, where I know Indian students have landed up going, is obviously London, Dubai, or UAE. In the UAE is actually the right option, because Dubai, Saudi, Qatar, Kuwait, everywhere ACCAs are recognized. We have students who've gone to Canada, Singapore, Australia, and in fact, I know recently people who've gone to Germany, people who've gone to the US. But yes, so it does help you. However, I would suggest that UK or UAE are the lowest hanging fruits for ACCA. In fact, even some other European countries can work out. Okay. How many papers are there in ACCA and how long does it take to complete? There are 13 exams, 1, 3, and on an average, you can complete them in 3 years if done consistently. The fastest you can complete it is 18 months, so 1.5 years. All right, then I'm from science, not commerce. Can I do ACCA? Yes. If eighth or ninth grade standard student can take it up, then we've had actually science candidates. It's you might feel that I didn't do 11th and 12th accounting, which your commerce peers or friends would do, but then that's irrelevant because most commerce students also don't really pay attention to accounts in 11th and 12th. So a lot of it you'll have to learn on the spot. But yeah, it's completely logical based, logic based. So that's the advantage that science candidates have. You don't have to really bother about any pre-knowledge. All right. I'm pursuing BCom honors along with ACCA. Should I take exemptions? Okay, good question. I am not a big proponent of exemptions, and as the body consults institutes like us across the world for these kind of things. Now, we see the point is that it's such a problematic approach. So the body has trying, their intent is very nice. Okay, they are trying to ensure that if you've done, let's say, your BCom, and technically in BCom you're supposed to cover accounting, financial management, audit, um, and then the body says, ACCA body says that, okay, look, if you've studied this in BCom, let me help you as a student and not force you to double take an exam which you already studied. That is why they say we'll map your BCom curriculum to ACCA curriculum, and if you've studied and passed that in BCom, I'll exempt you from ACCA. So that's the advantage, which means you don't have to waste more time, money, effort. So that's a great thing. The problem is that our BCom and our current education system is very different from how ACCA likes to test us and tries to create our base. So it feels like you are entitled to exemptions because the ACCA body is literally handing them over to you on a platter. And like I said, you imagine giving less exams. Who doesn't want it? That will also mean you complete it faster. Who doesn't want it? You will save money for those exams. Of course, why would you not take it? But um, I'm telling you this as a sample set of tens of thousands of students who've taken exemptions in the last 10 years. Tens of thousands of them. Do not rush for exemptions if you can avoid it. Right? Most of the times, people struggle to catch up to what they, where they start, because you start in the middle of the exam once you've gotten some exemptions. So most of the time we are not ready. Most of the times you need your base that is coming from ACCA itself. Most of the times you'll end up wasting more time and leaving ACCA than completing it because you started with exemptions. So a long answer to the simple question, I would say, I guess, I don't know if I got the name right, Rashmi, if I'm not wrong, Rashmeet, sorry. So Rashmeet, I would not suggest you take exemptions unless you have a real, absolute need and you are ready to study so much to catch up, then by all means. But personally, I've given all the exams, and I think that's what really helped me clear it, because if I had gotten some certain exemptions, I guess I would have struggled as well. So yeah, that's for everybody. Try not taking exemptions unless maybe you're a chartered accountant. All right, next, Sukhmeet is asking, can ACCA open exam centers in Indore? So, they should, depending on how much is the demand in Indore. But these things are not in our hands, actually, Sukhmeet. This the body decides. Um, so, yeah, we do have a lot of candidates from Indore, but I don't know if it's enough to actually, whenever it reaches a point which is large enough, the body will install a center in Indore. All right, Afreen's like, I'm doing SAP FICO consultant, and when I work in this field with ACCA, will it be counted? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know the answer if SAP or other SAP FICO is counted. I know that it should fall under accounting as a software, but my better recommendation is there is the ACCA body. You should actually email them this question if you're already a student or registered with the ACCA, the email address is students@accaglobal.com. They reply within 48 hours on average, and they once you have it in writing, then there is no going back. There's no vagueness in your mind. So these kind of questions, I would suggest you email them. It's the safest approach. All right, then Rashmi is again asking. She's already part of ACC at Zell. Can you please tell how can take job abroad after completing ACCA? Okay, so so Rashmi, again, this is something which so there are so the way you should look at it is that you want to move overseas. Great, keep that as a goal. However, you cannot start directly with that because you've completed your exams. There are a lot of elements. So number one, complete your qualification and start generating work experience in India in the best type of companies you can with the best type of profiles you can actually get into, right? It's better to start working and keep seeking opportunities overseas, so that in case that takes time, you are still building your base here. Going abroad because of your ACCA, it's dependent. Of course, luck is always there, but technically it depends on which country you're going to. For example, for many years, Canada, Australia had opened their arms to Indians as accountants to enter their countries. But now, recently, in the last couple of years, Canada has slowed that down. So it depends a lot on the economic situation of different countries. Again, what is your work experience? Are those companies like it's not only your ACCA because, but ACCA will give you the ability to get there if you crack everything else. So start working here. Apply. You can apply on acccareers.com. You can apply and you can apply through references. These are the only two official ways that you can do it, which gives you the highest chance. Uh, and of course, if your company is an MNC and you're working there for a couple of years and they have branches in other countries, then I know students of ours who have actually moved overseas in their own company because again they have the ACCA qualification, they're doing well in a company, the company has a vacancy in another country. But there are these kind of ways to actually go abroad for a job. All right, next Abhishek is I'm saying I'm a professional with 10 years of experience and I'm 38. Should I go for an MBA linked ACCA or go directly for ACCA? And I'm a BCom graduate. All right, Abhishek. So uh, just for you to know, your whole objective is to complete ACCA, whether you do it standalone or you do it with an MBA. I don't think that there is too much of concern over there. In MBA, you get a dual qualification. You get your MBA also. You get 9 exemptions actually. That's the other benefit, and you have to give the final 4 papers if you do it in an integrated way, and you are done with your ACCA. If you do ACCA alone, like I was mentioning earlier, base becomes a little stronger. So both are optional, both are open for you. If you've not already enrolled, then I would say actually it's literally a 50-50. That's because of your experience, your age, and your question. I don't think that it matters which one. You'll take more or less the same time to complete. You'll have to put more or less the same effort. So yeah, just pick any and ensure you complete it. That's actually more important. All right. Siddharth is asking, why is the ACA specification changing from 2027? That's the body's call. And actually, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it more relevant to the industry today. So when you do that, uh, when you make it more relevant to the world, you might have to make updates. You can't keep on using the same structure or the same curriculum as you did years ago. So that's why they're changing it. Khushi is asking, is coaching necessary for ACCA? Can I self-study? It's not necessary, but most people who are taking coaching are coming because they need direction, they need structure, they need somebody to push them, they need somebody to evaluate, they need somebody to solve their doubts. Uh, and unfortunately, yes, you can self-study, but are you the kind who actually will take that effort to do it, or is it better that you have qualified ACCA qualified people behind you? Well, not behind you, because as a professional nobody will be behind you, as an adult nobody will be behind you, but you will have them to rely upon. And in fact, that's the reason many people take coaching, right? It's easier to follow a path somebody has already carved out, done all the homework and the effort, and then you just have to follow it. But if you are driven, if you have that confidence, you've self-studied all your life, uh, by all means please do self-study. All right, I'm confused between CA, ACCA, CFA, and CMA. Which one should I choose for the best career? Wrong question. Yeah, you literally can start with any of them. The whole point is, can you complete the first one, start working in the real world, and see how you perform for the first 1 to 2 years. Basis that, you will know if you made the right call with the original qualification. A worst case scenario, if you've not, you still have the time to pursue the next one, because you already have some base that you sort of started with. Also, on the other hand, guys, once you start a qualification, right, you'll really not need have the need to look back, because, well, if you're completing a qualification, which means you're good at it, you're working in the real world, hopefully you're performing well, hopefully you're progressing, so I think the question should not be which one should you do for your career, for the best career. You should just, in fact, I made a video on this exact thing, that what is CA, what is ACCA, what is CFA, and what is CMA. Understand the core objective of these four qualifications, decide which one you like the most, and I would suggest pursue that. Max to max, if you want to go with, okay, I want one which has broadest scope, or I want something that has highest global value, or I want a qualification which is the shortest in duration. Those are the technical questions you can ask and then decide. However, it's better to decide the crux. All right. Can ACCA sign audit reports in India like CA? No. As I mentioned earlier, in India, only Indian CAs are allowed to sign. If you are in UK or Dubai or something, then ACCAs do have signing authority. Can I do ACCA while working or studying BCom simultaneously? Yeah. You can do ACCA while studying. You can do ACCA while working. You can, yeah. ACCA you can do, because that's completely on you. So, yeah. Is ACCA better than CA in terms of salary and job opportunities? Well, in India, you can work 90-95% of the same roles that a CA can work in, right? Except that you don't have signing authority. And you should not work in an Indian tax or Indian law kind of a role. Everywhere else, it's fine. If you talk about overseas, then there is higher opportunities, because ACCA, again, by nature, is global. All right, next. Um, I have a different qualification. No, sorry, a different question. How is ACCA different from the Indian CA? Okay. Uh, well, number one, the Indian CA is, of course, much more contextual to India. Like I said, they cover Indian laws, Indian tax, Indian accounting standards, whereas ACCA covers everything at an international level. Now, good thing is that most of Indian accounting standards or auditing standards, or even for that matter, some of its law standards and taxation standards, are similar to the global standards. So if you study ACCA, you'll end up covering a lot of what works in India. But in Indian CA rather, the specifications of direct tax and indirect tax is just much more. Second, Indian CAs have signing authority, like I said, whereas ACCAs are signing authority in different countries like UK and Dubai. Next, ACCA, you can actually finish faster and get more or less the same value. Like, for example, when I completed ACCA, I completed in 3 years. My CA friends completed CA in first attempt in 5 years. But then we both started at the same level, because it all depended. Like, the companies were, I worked in a company called PwC. PwC was not differentiating CAs and ACCA. So that's why they hired me at the same level. And then, of course, there is flexibility in ACCA, which is different. Like, uh, in CA, if I have to give the entire group together, and in a group, if there are 4 papers and I don't clear one, I've got to give all the 4 papers again. Whereas in ACCA, if you decide to give 4 papers at once, which is not mandatory, but in CA it is. But in ACCA, if you give 4 papers at once, for example, and you don't clear one, you're still done with the other 3. You just give the last one again and move forward. So these kind of differences exist. However, in value, in knowledge, in having a successful career, I've seen both CAs and ACCAs having immense success. All right, next one. Do you provide any scholarships or installment options for ACCA fees? Well, of course we do. So we, as in Zell, of course we do. We provide a lot to help students. If for some students who win scholarships, we even sort of pay on their behalf certain exam fees. Installment options, of course, we take so that students are, able to manage it at ease. But the ACCA body, what you have to pay them, that is directly decided by the ACCA body itself. All right. Which companies hire ACCAs in India? Is it only the big four or other companies? No, but the big four is generally what most people should start their careers in, because it gives a very good exposure for your learning as well as like a stamp on your CV. But beyond that, oh no, not at all. In fact, it's reaching a point where I know more, majority of our candidates who are working are not working in the big four. It used to be the inverse, but if I talk about, so we, recently we landed up placing students in Indian companies such as Kotak. My finance head, who's an ACC, used to work in ICICI Securities. One of our professors is a CFO of an Indian security commodities and securities company, group company, CFO. It's a 2,000 crore market cap company. He's the CFO as an ACC. All these are Indian companies, right? Then beyond this, there are of course a lot of people who work in multinationals, but not the big four, right? So one of our students, Mansi, got hired with 0 years of work experience so far at a 10 lakh salary package in a company called ACES. You can go and check it out. These are the kind of companies that are hiring ACCA. So yes, the big four is my personal suggestion, that start there if you get an opportunity, but by no means is it the only option anymore. I have an experience in tax like ITR and GST. So will it be counted? Yes. Luckily for us, as long as we worked in the domain of finance or accounts, so tax obviously falls under that, and it is counted in your articleship. All right. Next, as a fresher, what salary? Okay. So the salary as a fresher, like I was telling you, it can start anywhere from 4 lakhs and go all the way up to 10 to 12 lakhs, depending on as a fresher, which kind of company, how your interview went. Are you done with your ACCA? Do you even have the articleship equivalent experience, or you're zero? But all of that matters into this. All right, what's the total cost of completing ACCA from registration to membership? Around 4 to 5 lakhs over a period of 3 years. And this includes everything. It includes your training fees, the study material, the exam fees, the registration fees, the subscription fees, and anything else that comes in the middle. 4 to 5 lakhs. And that's it spread over 3 years. And lastly, this is an earn as you learn model, which means almost if you want from day one, you can also start working. And over if you take 3 years to complete the exam, which is reasonable, I'm pretty sure that anybody earning even a basic nominal salary will earn 4 to 5 lakhs over 3 years. So you definitely can break even the cost of this qualification during your articleship itself. But even if I ignore all of that, right, most likely your first salary should be in that, as a conservative level, should be around 6-7 lakhs if you're a good candidate. 6-7 lakhs means in the first year you more than cover up your entire investment. So yeah, the cost part of it, I think that compared to going abroad, doing an MBA, that also not from the top. So if you have to do it from the top 20 institutes, MBA is probably awesome. But if not, and you spend 50 lakhs, 80 lakhs, maybe even 1 CR, compared to that, the investment in ACCA or any of these CA kind of qualifications, it's amazing. All right. What are the exemptions available for BCom, MBA, and CA students? Okay. I don't know. Are you doing all of them that you're asking such a question? But anyway, I'll just quickly tell you. So BCom, out of 13 papers, you get 4 to 5 exemptions. MBA, you get between 2 to 3 exemptions. And CA, you get up to 9 exemptions. These sometimes vary. There is you can go to ACCA, you can go on Google and type ACCA exemptions calculator. The first official link, click on it, put in your details of what you've done, BCom, MBA, from where, etc. And the calculator will tell you how many exemptions you have. So it's a little easier. What's the fastest time I can complete ACCA? 18 months. If you have to give all of the 13 papers. Vatsal is asking how to start ACCA from class 11. How, as in, are you asking? So if you're asking about the registration process, well, I think you should just reach out to, we register all the students, and it's a little complex, but we can do it on your behalf. So I think there's a number that my team has put on the comments. Please reach out to us. But if you're asking about how, as in, oh, how is it possible? Well, the ACCA body allows for it, and we have now hundreds of students below 12th who started ACCA. It all comes down to how diligent you as a your age can turn into an asset, because you have less distractions, you are still studying well, you are still not come out and become, one of the, you've lost touch with your studies. Your absorption skills, grasping skills, basic talent is higher right now. So if you're asking how, as in how can a 11th standard student do it, well, in fact, you can actually do it faster, better. I keep talking about my one of my favorite students, Ayan. His name is Ayan. He started after 11th, in grade 11th. Before his grade 12 board exam, he completed 6 out of 13 ACCA papers. So in 11th standard and half of 12. So in 1.5 years, he gave 6 ACCA papers, gave his board exams, got into BCom, started his BCom. In his first year of BCom, he completed the balance 7 papers. Because that's the 8 papers are the max you can give in 1 year. He gave 7 out of 8 and cleared them all by his first year BCom. By his second year BCom, he got an internship again in PwC, the same company I worked at. And he graduated. So imagine, when he graduated, he had his graduation of BCom like everybody else. But as a young guy, he had finished his ACCA. He had PwC on his resume before he graduated. And then he went to a master's college in London called the Imperial College of it's a business it's one of the most famous business schools in London, Imperial College. He did his master's there. So can you imagine, at 21, 22, he had normal BCom, he had ACCA, he had work experience, and he went to London to study a master's. I mean, that's what happens when you start early. So yeah, that's why, like, I really encourage students to pick it up as early as they can. All right, what's the work experience requirement, PER, in ACCA? So long story short, guys, in ACCA, along with your exams, you have to demonstrate that you've also had practical experience. So for 36 months or 3 years, you have to work in the domain of finance or accounts, and that there are certain rules, something called performance objectives and an ethics module, all manageable. But yes, you have got to get 3 years of work experience in finance or accounts. That's your PER. All right, Isha asking, can we join Google after ACCA? Well, yeah, you can if you get the opportunity. You can work in Google, specifically if you want to work in the finance or the accounting, basically the finance or the accounting domains, departments of Google. I think you definitely can. As AI is growing with a different speed, will ACCA be relevant? I think so, guys. I don't think that AI is making a dent like that, because see, ACCA, CA, CFA, all these teaches us how to handle people's money at the end of it, accounting, finance, anything. I think AI will definitely help with advising people on money, but I think that you will not need people for money. So I am not too bothered about it. In fact, somebody asked me about what's the change in 2027 in ACCA. So for all of you all who don't know, ACCA is really doing a lot to inculcate AI in its syllabus, so that we guys who study ACCA become more and more AI ready. All right, next, I'm pursuing CFA, but I want to switch to ACCA. Is it a good idea? I don't know. If your reason is that while studying CFA, you realize something that CFA doesn't have but ACCA has, then yes. Otherwise, I suggest stick to CFA. All right, may I have a job at the end of class 12 if I start from class 11? Wrong question. You may. Depends how good you are. I don't know if what kind of companies are actually hiring 12th standards students. Maybe for internships you can, but nah, you can't guarantee anything upfront, right? It all depends on how you actually perform. All right, what's your opinion on the combination of ACCA and CMA? I think it's a good combination. I think there's a lot of overlap. ACCA is global, CMA is more US specific. ACCA takes 3 years, but CMA takes 1.5 years. So I think as a combination, it's pretty good. Yeah, I think you can, and it's manageable more than anything else. Okay. Like I said, there are certain updates in 2027 coming up in ACCA. I mentioned about AI, but otherwise ACCA is going from uh, that revamping the entire ACCA structure, made a detailed video. Please do have a look. But essentially, papers are changing a little bit. They're reducing the number of papers. They are changing a little bit about the milestones in ACCA. But instead of telling you guys who've not, if you all have not started ACCA right now, it's not the right time to bother about all of that. Y'all make your decision irrespective of these changes, and then I can take you guys for, I can help you guys more. All right. Can I learn? Can I earn after 8 or 9 papers? And what will be the? I think you meant salary. All right. So yes, you can start. I don't know the salary will be. If you have no work experience and you work in a mid-sized firm, it might be 2 to 3 lakhs. But I know people with 8 9 papers who are also the first job is 5 to 6 lakhs. So it all depends again on where you go and how your interviews go. May I start ACCA after from class 11 in Zell? Yeah, like I said, Vatsal, there are a lot of students. Please don't hesitate. Go for it. In fact, the chances of you completing it is again highest if you start it now. Right. Which publications do we recommend? Well, we just recently had a massive tie-up with BPP. So now we at Zell are teaching from BPP. I also studied from BPP, but a lot of students prefer Kaplan. So it's all on you. But I think BPP is actually BPP Kaplan both are sufficient, guys. Don't overthink on all this. Just study. All right. Anything else? Yes, SAP, a FICO consultant, and ACCA, because it's a good combination, because SAP is about integrating accounting, ERP, technology, and ACCA gives you a detailed understanding of business, of obviously finance and accounts from the lens of a business. So yes, basically you're giving yourself a good chance to progress in your career. How you do it completely depends on you, Afreen. All right. Just checking more questions, guys. One second. Placement of Zell. Well, I am telling you, I think Prem is messaging. So, Prem, well, we are going to be helping students with respect to placements, but placements is not something that anybody can predict. It all depends on how you actually are performing, how you actually, like I've said across this live stream, how your interviews go, what kind of companies you're interviewing at, how your exams went. Based on that, your placement happens. We are placing students at 7 lakh packages in companies like Kotak. We have people at 10 lakh packages in companies like Aces, and these are fresher students with no work experience. We have offers of ACCA members with a few years of experience across the world, again on acccareers.com. We just keep on getting, so as an ACCA you do have opportunities, but like I'm saying again and again, completely depends on how you perform with it. Which degree is the best to do with ACCA? I'm assuming you mean your graduation degree. And if that's the question, then anything is fine. You can do BCom, you can do BMS, you can do BBA, you can do, if you're from Mumbai, you can do bachelor's in finance and accounting. Fine. I did financial markets. So yeah, any degree works. I know engineers who've picked up ACCA, and I in earlier days I had a couple of arts students also who picked up ACCA. So degrees don't matter along with ACCA. Just your focus on ACCA matters. All right, and in Google only ACCA qualified enough, or any other course to get into Google? Isha, you will have to understand. You'll have to really attempt getting into Google, applying and understanding what they want. There is no rule that you complete this and you will get into Google. But yes, you study more, you understand what they want, you can give yourself the best chance. Uh, if I complete ACC at the end of class 12 and then CFA, what will be the approx package? Depends. Will you act, where again, when do you complete CFA? What is your work experience till then? Where are you applying? All of that. There's no approx package. It can be, again, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, anywhere in the middle, lesser than that, more than that, completely open. If I want to do MBA after ACCA, will it be a good combination? Yes, it's an amazing combination. Is it important to do graduation with ACCA? It's not important, but I really recommend everybody just do it. In India, unfortunately or fortunately, even though getting a degree is extremely, well, relatively easy, it is almost sort of it's like every time you go for a job they will ask you that. I know people who struggled with no graduation. So yes, you can. There are people who've also succeeded with no graduation, but if you are choosing, I would say go for it. Right, do it in correspondence, big deal. Okay, if you're wishing to settle in UAE, should I do ACC or CPA? Well, in UAE, both actually, I know people who are both CPAs as well as ACCS, and both work out. Although, because maybe I understand and I've seen the ACCA side of it more, I'll tell you that ACCAs are more in UAE. But you can please do ask people around who might, you might know there. Go on LinkedIn and find them. It's all fine. Does Zell align interviews with the company? Yes, we get mandates from companies, and when we get that, we pass it on to our students. We won't go specifically for students when they want it, but when companies are asking for it, we give it at that point of time. Is it right to start ACC after 11th? I think it's an awesome, it's not risky. I mean, risky in the sense, yeah, if you take it lightly or you don't pay attention or you screw up your 12th studies, then of course it's a horrible approach. But like I said, the ones who are taking it up and are focused, they're only growing, only winning. So I think you know, I again I don't think you should worry about that. Can I be an investment banker with ACC? I've seen CFA people working in this domain or MBA finance. Yeah, MBA is the highest, it's the best way, but it has to be one of the top MBA institutes. But that gives you the best chance to get into investment banking. CFA is again an amazing stepping stone to investment banking. And ACC, well, I know a handful of ACCAs who are into investment banking. So I know you can get through that. But as an ACCA, then you have to be like it's all on you as an individual also. You learn the right things that you need in ACCA, in investment banking. You learn it in ACCA, but then you have to be amazing at communication and networking, and you can get there. All right, as a fresher with 13 papers qualified, in the salary as a fresher is 4 to 5 lakh is enough in over 1 year. I don't understand the question. Wait, let me just. As a fresher with 13 papers qualified, the salary as a fresher is enough in 1 year. Oh, okay. I think you mean asking if 4 to 5 lakhs is enough. Well, 4 to 5 lakhs is a starting salary for anybody. Your goal should be obviously to increase it. If you don't, you can't blame the qualification. You will have to figure out why the market is not giving you a raise, and you'll mostly find some gap in your skill sets which you will be able to overcome once you identify it. So there's no need to worry, no need to feel stuck. You just need to be logical about why is it that if you're at 4 to 5 lakhs and you want to get to 10 lakhs, others who are at 10 lakhs, what do they do, and how do you fill that gap to get to that? That's about it. The qualification is one of the highest chances to improve your life in the first few years of your career is by having a good qualification. So that's the advantage, but it by no means guarantees anything for anybody. Freen is saying she might do ACC. Please, I'm very happy if you do. We'll do our best to help you out. Please do complete research so that you're confident, and hopefully it will change your life like it did for so many of us. All right, what will be the approximate studying hours of ACC along with school syllabus? It's all on you, Vatsal, how much you study, how much you're grasping. But again, I would say that give yourself an hour or two daily for the first few days, first few papers. And then once you clear 3, 4 papers, you will know yourself, uh, how you've got to speed it up. But yes, you should give mock exams. You should practice more than study. When I say study, I mean read and memorize. This is not that kind of an exam. It's a much more practical exam. So please do, that's how you should look at it, right? The more you practice, the more you sit and actually solve, or more important, analyze and type out answers and then check it and give tests, give mocks with us, uh, get feedback. That's actually the better way to look at your times. All right. How much time do we have to invest as a student to continue our academic? Like I just said, I just answered that for Vatsal. It's all on you. Okay. Okay. Some questions I've already answered, so I'm just going to skip that. Okay, the exam structure. How do they conduct exams? And okay, so ACC has 13 exams, 1 3. It's split into 3 levels: knowledge, skill, and professional level. The knowledge level are there are they are completely objective, meaning they're only multiple choice questions, and they are called on demand. On demand means you prepare for it. Let's say it takes you 2 months to prepare for one exam. Once you're prepared, you call us. We are a licensed exam center for ACCA. You call us and you say, okay, I want to come on Monday at 10 a.m. If you have a slot, come, give the exam on the spot. It's a computer based exam. On the spot, you will pass, hopefully, and you can move on to the next paper. This is the first knowledge level. Then comes the skill level. Now, the skill and the professional level, the last 2 levels, are exams are held every March, June, September, and December, 4 times a year. uh, the skill level is a mix of multiple choice questions and subjective questions. And professional level exams are fully subjective. And like I said, all of them are computer based. You've got to go and give them at exam centers only now. So, yeah, that's sort of the details of the exam structure. Okay, guys, I think that I've answered a lot of these questions, and some of you guys are asking about CFA, but this is more for ACCA. We will be hosting other live streams like this. Also for CFA, please go and check any other videos that we've made. And for any other question, guys, that y'all are not sure about or that y'all need more clarity for, as always, feel free, reach out to us. We're always here. And yeah, please let me know if there are any other questions. We'll catch up most likely in the next live stream. Thank you, guys.